Lord, I shall give these laws unto thy people. Hear me! Oh, hear me! All pay heed! The Lord Jehovah, has given unto you these 10 commandments for all to obey.
Well, here we go. As you've just seen, there are commandments or laws or rules. Sometimes they get broken. What we're going to do over the next series of videos and in your series of classes that hopefully you're taking over the next couple of years and maybe even beyond, give you some guidelines, a structure, if you will, that virtually every bridge player understands to act as a framework for what you're going to do. Please don't think of these as hard and fast rules. The commandments are hard and fast rules, but they were made to show the Israelites and all of us that if you try to be holy by keeping them, you're not going to be successful because they can't be kept in their entirety. Just like the rules that you're about to see are subject to what everybody picks up when they get their 13 cards for every deal. You can't just always keep the rules exactly. You have to work within that framework and then figure out how you're going to do the best job you possibly can. So let's see what comes next, and we're going to start with very simple raise when you have a minimum hand as responder to an opening bid. So here's your first set of guidelines to remember. When your partner has opened one of a suit and you have 6 to 9 points and support for his suit, which we'll discuss in a few moments, you raise to 2 of that suit. That limits your hand to 6 to 9 points and tells your partner that between the two of you, you have at least an 8 card fit in that suit. Now, initially, at the beginning level, we want you to just count high card points. As soon as possible thereafter, when your teacher thinks the class is ready, we'll transition that to support points, which takes into account shortness values. But initially, to keep it simple, just use high card points. And don't worry about if any of them are singleton or doubleton or any of that. Just count your points, add 6 to 9, and go ahead at that point and support your partner by bidding 2 of his suit. Okay, let's get started with a simple raise situation. If you look in the upper left-hand corner, you'll see the number 14 surrounded by 4 white blocks, one of which, the one to the east, has a D in it. 14 stands for the board number, and sometimes in these teaching examples it'll just be blank. The D stands for the position of the dealer. So in this case, east is the dealer, chose to pass, you as south passed, west passed, and your partner north in 4th seat chose to open 1 spade, and east has passed. It's now your turn. What are you going to do? Well, let's look at your high card points, and remember, as beginners, we're not going to count distribution points or what we would call support points. We're just going to count high card points. So we have the ace of diamonds is 4, the king of clubs is 3, and nothing else. So we have 7 total points, and now in high cards. And now let's look and see what we have in our spade suit. Oh my goodness, we have 4 of them. That's actually called primary support for a major. 3 cards is support, 4 cards or longer is primary or really good support. And we have it. So in this case, we have a very nice simple raise to 2 spades. So let's go ahead and make that right now. And we'll see. At this point, we're not concerned with what happens from here. So let's try another deal and see what we can do there. Okay. Looks like West was the dealer and has passed. Let's see what my partner North is going to do. Oh, North likes his hand and is going to start out with 1 spade again. And let's see what you have in support of spades. You have 3 card support, so you do have support, although it's not primary, it's support. So you're going to respond if you have enough points. Let's see if you do. None in spades. The King of Hearts is 3. None in clubs, but the King of Diamonds is another 3 for a total of 6. You meet the 6 to 9 requirement. You meet the 3 card support requirement. So guess what? You get to support your partner, which is always nice to do. So you're going to give partner a lift or a raise to 2 spades. And again, we're not concerned with what North does from here. Let's check out another board and see what happens. So partner's open to spade. And let's see what we have for partner. Aha! We have primary 4 card support, which is always nice. Also have an ace in that suit, which is even better. So let's see if we have anything more. Ace of spades is 4. Queen of hearts is 2. That's 6. Queen of diamonds is 2. So that makes 8. And the jack of diamonds is 1. That makes 9. Are we within our 6 to 9 high card point parameters, our guidelines here, for a single raise of partner's major? We certainly are. So let's go ahead and make it. 2 spades. Okay. Once again, we're not concerned with how the auction develops from here. Next hand. Partner is the dealer and chooses once again to open 1 spade. Boy, he likes spades, doesn't he? And we'll see what happens next. East passed. We once again have support for partner, at least 3 cards, in this case 4 card support for spades. Do we have enough to respond with a simple raise of 1 spade, 2 spades? Oh, we only have 4 high card points. I reckon not. Whoops, wait a minute. That happens to be an ace. Here's an exception. Your teacher may tell you to ignore it, and that's okay. But in my opinion, if you have an ace in your hand and support, especially primary support, 4 card plus support for your partner is opened at the 1 level and your right hand opponent has chosen to pass, give your partner a raise, because that's an ace is a quick trick, which means that it is almost certain to win a trick on the first round that suit is played. So that 1 trick is sufficient, in my opinion, to give your partner a raise. I would also consider king, queen, small, or just king, queen, small in a suit, which is also 1 quick trick when you get to the point of learning about quick tricks. I would consider that sufficient for a raise in and of itself, provided you had support for your partner, hopefully primary support. But even though it's only 5 high card points, it's a quick trick, and that's enough, in my opinion. Your teacher may choose to tell you to ignore that, and that's perfectly okay. Remember, this is a beginning class. I'm going to be bold and go ahead and make the raise. And again, we don't care what happens from this point. See if partner yells at us when the dummy comes down. Here's that king-queen we were talking about just a moment ago. Primary support, well, let's let partner make his bid first. Oops. There we go. Again with the spades. Eventually we're going to bid some other suit. But here you have primary support, 4-card support for partner's suit, 1 spade. And you would certainly like to support your partner. Can you do so? Well, you only have 5 high card points, the king and queen of clubs. But that is a quick trick. King, queen, X, king, queen, small, small, doesn't matter. But if you have the king, queen, even king, queen tight, which means king, queen, and no other cards in that suit, you would expect that one of those 2 cards is going to win a trick on the second round of the suit. It's not quite as quick as an ace, but it's pretty quick. So we would call that 1 quick trick. And with 1 quick trick and support for your partner, I think that's worth a simple raise. Again, your instructor, your teacher, may tell you to ignore that, and that's just fine. But I'm going to do it because I'm bold, and I want to get in the way of the opponents, and I want to help my partner. There we go. Well, I told you there were more suits than just the spades, so we're going to skip the hearts, which work pretty much the same way as spades. They're both major suits, and they both count for 30 points per trick. And we're going to look at the minors, starting with diamonds. Now, I'm going to show you the north hand here so I can tell you what's going on. Here we go. You were the dealer and passed. Your left-hand opponent, West, passed. And your partner has opened a diamond. And your right-hand opponent, East, has also passed. Now, what I would like for you to do is take a look at the north hand. It is precisely 4-4-3-2, meaning 4 spades, 4 hearts, 3 diamonds, 2 clubs. The odds that a player is going to have this particular shape, enough points to open one of a suit but not one no trump, and be in the right position to open the bidding. In other words, that player is the dealer, or it's been passed around to that player to make the first actual opening bid. The odds that that player is going to have that exact 4-4-3-2 distribution and meet those other parameters are actually less than 1%. So why did I tell you this? I'm showing you the exception to the rule that anytime your partner opens the bidding with the diamond suit, in other words, 1 diamond, you can pretty much count on that partner having a minimum of 4 cards in the diamond suit. This hand that you're looking at here is the exception, and it's rare. It occurs, but it's rare. Sometimes you're going to be supporting your partner with 4 cards in the diamond suit, which is the minimum required to support diamonds. In other words, 1 diamond, 2 diamonds requires 4 diamonds in the hand of the responder, in this case you. And once in a while, you're going to end up with something like this. It's really rare. Almost always, you're going to have at least a 4-4 fit in the diamond suit. Don't be afraid of it. Make sure that you don't require 5 pieces in the diamond suit in order to respond. Now, what do you have in this case? You have the ace of spades is 4, the jack of hearts is 1 more for 5. The king and jack of diamonds are 3 plus 1 is 4. So 4 plus 1 is 5, plus 4 is 9. You meet the 6 to 9 requirement. You have at least 4 diamonds, and you can now respond 2 diamonds. Now, one other thing I would like for you to notice as we make this bid is here in the majors. When it goes 1 of a minor past 2 of a minor, in other words, opener opens in a minor and responder supports that minor. Responder is, in addition to everything else we're talking about, specifically saying I'm denying having 4 spades and I'm denying having 4 hearts. This may be a little advanced for your class at this point, but if you're not there now, trust me, you will get there soon. Teachers, don't let them dwell on this if this is going to distract them from a lesson that you really want them to learn. Now, in this case, West has decided to jump in with a ridiculous 2-spade bid. West has 4 and 3 are 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, but they're scattered points. The spade suit is garbage. Queen 10, 8 is not the best suit in the world. I would never make that 2-spade bid. Someone here did. Don't worry about it. Remember, we're not getting past this point anyway. It just so happened that I had a robot sitting over there and the robot made that bid. But we really just wanted to show you that there are some restrictions on raising a minor. Let's see what we have here next. Okay. There is method to my madness. Hamlet, by the way. We have East passing. East doesn't have an opening hand. I certainly wouldn't. You don't either, so you're going to pass. And West this time thought better things and passed. Believe it or not, that's actually a better hand than the one that he bid 2 spades on. But I digress. Anyway, here we have North deciding to open 1 club. Now, unlike 1 diamond, which is almost always going to be 4 diamonds or more, an opening bid of 1 club says a few things. It says I have at least 3 cards in the club suit. I probably don't have 4 diamonds. I may have 4 hearts. I may have 4 spades, but I don't have 5 of either suit. So let's look at that a different way. Partner, I don't have 5 spades or more. I don't have 5 or more hearts. I probably don't have 4 or more diamonds, but we'll let you know later. But I do have 3 or more clubs, and I have sufficient high card points to open at the 1 level in a suit. So let's see, we have 4 and 3 are 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Almost enough for a 1 no trump opener, but not quite if you're playing 15 to 17 or 16 to 18 no trump ranges. So we're going to open this hand 1 club. Now, please understand that this is not a short club. Don't let anybody tell you it is. It's just a club bid, normal, and has been since Goran was a corporal. Let's look at what a short club is, and I'm only going to do this for a moment, and again, teachers, you can tell people to ignore it. But a short club must be announced or alerted, and it means that you're going to open on a 2-card or a 1-card club suit. That's a short club. This is a normal club, and it happens when you have a hand that looks like this, or something very similar, that can't open 1 of a major and can't open 1 diamond. You're stuck. You get to open 1 3-card club suit. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, and East has obliged us by passing, and now it's your turn. Do you have enough points to respond? Any in spades? No. Any in hearts? Yes, 3 for the king. Any in clubs? Yes, 3 for the king. That's 6. What's our range for a simple response, a simple raise? 6 to 9. So, do we have enough points to respond? Yes, we have 6 to 9 high card points. In this case, 6. Now, just as I said you needed to have at least 4 cards in the diamond suit to respond 2 diamonds to a 1 diamond opening, guess what? Because this situation with an opening of 3 clubs can occur, never play it for 3. Always play it for a normal 4 or 5 card club suit, but it could be 3. And because it could be 3, in order to make a simple raise, you should have 5 cards in the club suit. Okay? So, do we have 5 clubs? Yes. Can we bid 2 clubs? Well, we have our 6 to 9, and we have our 5 clubs. Yes, we can. Is there another restriction? Yes, there is. The same one we had with diamonds. It denies a 4-card or longer major. It also denies the ability to bid 1 no trump. And that's a little advanced, but in order to bid 1 no trump over 1 club, you must have 8 high card points and a balanced distribution and no 4-card major. And in this case, you only have 6, but you do have the 5 clubs, so it's wonderful. But what if you didn't have the 5 clubs? Let's say you only had 4 clubs, and one of those clubs was a spade. So you were 3, 3, 3, 4. Well, I wouldn't recommend bidding 2 clubs. That could get nasty. You can't bid 1 no trump with only 6 high card points, although your teacher may not force you into that restriction. It's kind of old-fashioned, but I like it. So in this case, you could bid 1 diamond, and trust me, it's not going to go all pass. And your partner is probably not going to raise diamonds and get you in trouble. But you're stuck for a bid. You're either going to have to bid 1 diamond or raise to 2 clubs, which is terrible, or bid 1 no trump with only 6 high card points. If you can't stand bidding the diamond with only 3 cards as a temporizing bid at the 1 level, then bid a no trump and lie to your partner that way. It just depends on which lie your partner would be less likely to get upset about. Okay, now it's going to start getting exciting. Once again, our partner can't seem to draw any cards other than spades. But now, East has come alive. Our right-hand opponent has bid 2 hearts. Oh my goodness gracious, now what are we going to do? Well, let me just tell you in advance that there's lots and lots and lots of things that can be done, agreements that can be made, recommendations that have been made, and things that are generally considered pretty standard at the intermediate or better level, especially in duplicate clubs and in tournament play and in online play, whether against robots or other players. We're going to ignore most of them for this beginner class. And we're just going to say, yeah, right hand opponent, bid 2 hearts, whoop-de-doo. I was going to bid 2 spades because I have primary 4-card support for partners major suit spades. And I have, let's see, the Queen of Spades and the Jack of Spades, that's 3 high card points, plus the King of Clubs, that's 6 high card points total. And that's enough for my 6 to 9 requirement to raise my partner from 1 spade to 2 spades. So guess what? I'm going to absolutely ignore my right hand opponent's 2 heart bid and just bid 2 spades. And now we're going to ignore what happens next, as is our norm. In this case, our lovely left-hand opponent, Mr. or Ms. East, decided to bid 4 hearts, and I'll just let you guess at what happened next. But for right now, we bid 2 spades, and that's what we were supposed to do. And unless our partner forces us to do something else by making some sort of forcing bid, and forcing bids are not the purview of this class. It's something that probably will come later in your instruction. For right now, we'll just ignore everything else and we'll go on to the next hand. There we go. Okay. Left-hand opponent has passed. Partner is going to open the bidding. And this time, oh my goodness, partner opened the heart. We finally got the heart suit in play. And it was us. Our pesky little right-hand opponent has decided to butt in. And by the way, if you are in England or any country that was influenced by England recently, that's called a butt-in, B-U-T-T-I-N. We call it an overcall. Now, as south, what do you do? Okay, you have 4 points for the Ace of Spades, 2 points for the Queen of Clubs. How many is that? That's 6. What's your range to support hearts if you have enough cards in the heart suit for support? 6 to 9. Do we have enough hearts? Yes, we do. We have not only 3 but 4 primary support for the heart suit. So again, at our level, the beginner level, what we're going to do is ignore the overcall and make our 2 heart bid. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's tell partner we got support for him. Okay, and now our left-hand opponent, West, has bid 3 hearts. Now that seems kind of strange since we bid and raised hearts. There's the bid, there's the raise. So let's go up here and see. Notice how that is discolored? That means that that player alerted that heart bid as being something other than wanting to play in hearts. So when that occurs, you go up here to the right hand corner if you're playing on Bridge Base Online, BBO, which is where these hands are being done. You see what that player means by that particular call. says, oh, it means I have 3 plus spades and between 11 and 12 total points, 11 or fewer high card points. For right now, that's way too advanced for you to understand. You will understand it later, I promise, when we get to the advancing or advanced beginner area, maybe even almost to the intermediate level of instruction. For right now, ignore it. I want you to look at something else to learn here, and that's some terminology. Note that the first player to make a call, and a call is either a pass, a double, a redouble, or a bid. A bid is the number and a strain, like 1 heart, 1 spade, 2, number 2, hearts, strain of hearts. A number and a strain. So you can make a call of pass, a call of all bids are calls, but not all calls are bids. Let's put it that way. So you can make a call of pass. At some point, if it's appropriate, you can make a call of double or a call of redouble. If you bid a number and a suit, it's a strain. It's an actual bid. So in this case, West was the dealer, and as dealer, it was his option to make the first call, and that call was pass. It said, I have insufficient values to open anything at this point. I'm going to wait and see. Your partner North said, guess what? I do have sufficient values to open the bidding, and I have a suit that's worth mentioning, and I'm going to open the bidding 1 heart. So North is now the opener. He was not the dealer, but he got to be first after West passed. So he made the first actual bid. Now, North's left-hand opponent, your right-hand opponent, in this case since you're south, East, is in the position known as the overcall, or the British would say butt-in position. There is a better word for that, and it's called intruder, because now East has in fact, with his 1 spade bid, intruded in our auction. How dare he? Well, he did. He's the intruder. You now remain the responder, just as though East had said nothing and it had gone 1 heart past 2 hearts. North is the opener, you are still the responder. You now have an intruder, East, who has made an overcall of 1 spade. Now let's go over to see what West is doing. What's West called in this particular auction? Regardless of what West chooses to do, and that could have been a pass, it could have been a raise of his partner's spades. In this case, he made what's called a Q bid. And again, don't get hung up on that. It's way too early for you to worry about what that means. But he did something. This particular seat at the table in this particular auction, doesn't matter where he is up here, it matters where he is in relationship to who opened, who intruded, who responded, or is in the responder's position, even if that response was a pass. And now here is that position, and this position is called the advancer. A-D-V-A-N-C-E-R, advancer. Because just as you, as responder, responded to North's hearts, when East intruded and said, I'd like to consider something else, his partner advanced that notion. So let's go over it again. We have dealer, who's not necessarily opener, and in this case is not. opener, intruder, and in this case, intruder intruded with an overcall or a butt-in, responder, and advancer. Please get to know those terms. I'm dwelling on them now simply because it's kind of a thing that you're going to want to know in order to have discussions about bridge intelligently with other people. And when you get to the point where you're going to a bridge club with your partner, for example, or going to a game, even if it's just a social game, or going to a tournament of some sort, when you're in the car traveling, you're probably going to discuss bridge. And one of the things you might want to do is talk about who did what in the auction. And terms like responder, intruder, advancer might be helpful in helping you describe to the other persons in the car, other people in the car, what is going on in the auction. It's also useful when you're reading bridge hands and those sorts of things, bridge books, bridge columns. Anyway, I won't dwell on this. Oh, partner loves him some spades. Now we have a different situation. Again, we have intrusion by east, but in this case, it's intrusion with a double. Basically, that means that east has very few spades, 4 hearts, and relatively balanced in the other 2 suits. And because he's forcing his partner to bid at the 2 level, or at the minimum 1 no trump, he'll probably have a good 10 points or so. And then it's your turn. Well, what is our rule for beginners? Make the bid you are going to make if your right-hand opponent had passed. So in this case, you have 1 point for the spade, plus 2 for the queen of hearts, that's 3, plus 3 for the king of clubs, that's 6, plus another 3 points in diamonds, that's 9. Do you have 6 to 9? Yes. Do you have at least 3 card support for your partner's major? Yes. In this case, you have primary or 4 card support. So you have a very, very nice raise. So let's make it. There you go. We don't get concerned about where the auction's going from here, but I thought I would show you this takeout double so you can get a feel for it, just in case you haven't seen one before. Turn on all the hands. There we go. Let's get this out of the way. So, here's your takeout double. In this case, the East player has no spades. 4 hearts, which is what he promised. 5 diamonds, 4 clubs. So basically, whatever his partner, who he's forcing to bid, if you had not bid, bids, it's fine, as long as it's a different suit than spades. In this case, West liked clubs and made the minimum bid in clubs necessary to show that he had clubs, and in this case, 4 points. Frankly, I think that's a little pushy. I think I would have passed instead, because South's your 2 spade bid took him off the hook, which is our expression to say he's no longer required to bid. The forcing nature of the takeout double was turned off by your 2 spade bid. But he chose to bid 3 clubs anyway, and that's what he did. So let's see if we have any more hands in here. Let me turn off the... Here we go. And we'll do a redeal. And we'll see what we have now. Okay, you are the dealer, and I would certainly hope you would pass with this hand, having only 4 high card points. West passed, and now your partner North is going to open. Hey, he's got hearts again, yay! Uh-oh, right-hand opponent made a takeout double. What's our rule for beginners? If you have support, ignore the interference, whether it's an overcall or a double, and as long as you can make the bid you were going to make, in other words, if you have to go up another level like 3, then you don't have to. But in this case, it was going to go 1 heart, 2 hearts. It's still going to go 1 heart, 2 hearts, but in this case, it's been interrupted by a double. But do you have sufficient values to do that? 4 and 3 are 7 in clubs, plus the jack is 8. And that's enough high card points. Do you have heart support? Do you have your 3? Yes, you actually even have 4 primary support. Nice. So you have 4 high card points and primary support in hearts. Well, let's just go ahead and make our bid of 2 hearts. There you go. And now West actually is going to respond or advance his partner's double for takeout and bid the 2 spades that in the spade suit he expects partner to have. Let's see if partner does indeed have spades, which he's supposed to. Yippers, there they are. I just basically turned off the explanation so you can see the spade suit. There's 4 spades. Pretty nice. Rubber bridge players would look at that and say, ooh, 100 honors. Unfortunately, duplicate bridge players have no idea what that means. Too bad, so sad. Anyway, that's 10 high card points. You should just memorize that. Anytime you see ace, king, queen, jack, there's 10. Plus, the king of diamonds is 13. That's way more than enough, certainly enough to make a takeout double. And that partner can respond to at the 1 level. In this case, partner responded anyway, even though he's got only 5 points. People are getting competitive, and the programmers who program the robots are getting competitive and are programming in that competitiveness. Just a quick editing note on the preceding hand. In the club suit, there were 8 points, not 4. Got a little weird with my eyeballs. Sorry about that. Well, that'll do it for simple raises at the beginner level. Our next video will stay at the beginner level, but we'll show what happens when you have more than the values for a simple raise, but not enough for the values of a game raise.